Today I'm testing out 10 different kitchen gadgets to see if they're worth it and how good they actually work. If you like or want any of them, the links will all be in the description down below, and I'm gonna rate them all 1 to 10. Let's start off with this crab and roll right here. This is a paper towel holder. Now we do already have a paper towel holder, so let me grab that one first. This is just gonna be your standard paper towel holder. We've all seen them before. It's what we've been using for the longest time, but now we've got this crab and roll, and it basically just looks like a crab. Let's see if it functions any differently though. You can see the little crab eyes kind of poking out of the box right when you pull it up, and already I can see it's kind of extendable. Looks like it's a couple of pieces as well. Whoops. Let's get this pulled out, get the box out of the way. So it's just got 2 pieces here that you put together. Basically, you just put this little guy on top of here, it looks like, and then you can adjust it to the size of the paper towel roll. So if you got a small roll, or even toilet paper would probably work on this size, you could leave it like that, or pull it upwards to adjust it to the paper towel. You can feel it click as it goes up, but one of the weird things is that you can actually just pull it off really easily. I kind of wish it had like little notches that it would catch onto, so as you pulled it up to each height, you know, it got stuck there a little bit more than it does. You can feel it, but it doesn't like stop you from moving further, if that makes sense. Let's put the paper towel roll on this. I'll get it adjusted to what I think the height will work, which looks like right about there. Throw this paper towel roll onto here. The eyes are almost poking out, so I guess I would just pull it out a little bit more to have those kind of pulling. I do like that it's adjustable, unlike your regular paper towel roll right here. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 7 out of 10. It's functional, works slightly better, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. Next up is gonna be this garlic crusher right here. It looks like you basically just roll it onto the garlic to crush it up, and it's a Dracula. So let's get this opened up, get a cutting board, get some garlic, and try this out. So here's the product right here. It does say that you need to peel the garlic before using this one. Now I have tested garlic crushers in the past where you don't have to peel it, so peeling is a little bit of a minus for me, but I've got 4 cloves of garlic peeled right here, ready to be crushed. Let's see if we can do all 4 at the same time with this guy right here. So I'm just gonna run it over that and kind of rock side to side. And actually I'm just testing out the size here, and it looks like I can probably fit about 3 under that. So we're gonna try 3 of these garlics right here, line them up a little bit to give it the best shot, and let's roll it over the garlic here. Get that back and forth over each of them. I think it'll be easier with just 1 at a time now that I've tested it out with 3, but there is all 3 of them. Keep rocking it back and forth. Now the rocking is pretty easy. I think it was a little bit hard with 3, but with 1 it rocks super easily. And then all of the garlic is kind of in the middle of the Dracula right there. You can see it kind of pushes through that and gets stuck into there. And then hopefully you can just shake it on its side. Perfect. So you just shake it on its side, all the garlic comes out. It does look really nice and crushed. I mean, that's a perfect crush of garlic right there. I'm gonna try this once more with just 1 clove of garlic just to see how easy it is with just 1. So let's take this and just push it on the 1 right here. Definitely way easier. I wouldn't try to do too many at a time with this one, maybe 2, but it's honestly really fast with just 1 and takes almost no effort. Little bit tough to get all of the garlic off of it, but I think I got most of it off of it here. So I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I wish I didn't have to peel the garlic. I wish it was a little bit easier to get off of the grate right here, but other than that, it's really easy to use and works well. Next up is gonna be the spaghetti tower. Now this is supposed to hold your leftover spaghetti that hasn't been cooked and allow you to easily dispense certain portions of it at a time. So let's get this opened up, get the package out of there, and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, so this is the product right here. It's just a long cylinder pretty much with this lid on the top that, like I just said, allows you to do portion control. So let's get the lid off and see how much spaghetti actually fits into here. I've got a full box of spaghetti that I just opened up. I'm gonna see if it'll fit all of this in here. Let's just get it poured in. I'm impressed that I didn't spill any of it, and you can see it only fills about half of the container in there. So I do have a second box of spaghetti. Let's see if we can fit the second box fully in there as well. This one might be harder to pour in. Let's hope I don't spill it everywhere. And I would honestly say that's perfect. It definitely gets a little bit tight in there, and I'd say that's the maximum, but it fits 2 full boxes of this pasta that we just bought from the store. So that's pretty awesome. You can store so much in here, and it takes up way less space than the 2 boxes as well. So I think the lid just clicks on like that. It looks like it screws, but I was having trouble screwing it, and the click on works pretty well, and it's definitely tight on there, not gonna fall off. And then you can see on the top right here, there's a 1, 2, a 3, and a 4. All those numbers on the top, that's the number of servings of spaghetti that you want. So for example, if you want 1 serving of pasta, you'll just lift it up by the 1 right there, gives you a small hole, and then you turn it upside down, and just like that, it perfectly portions out exactly 1 portion of spaghetti. So if I just grab this, leave the rest in there. You can see that's exactly 1 portion of pasta right there. And then just for comparison, I'm gonna open it from the 3 side as well. Let's see how much 3 servings is. So huge hole right there, it looks like. Turn it upside down. Looks like shaking it a little bit kind of helps fill that hole so you actually get the right amount. And I can feel it kind of falling down into my hand. Now it's in there. I'll grab this full 3 servings. And just like that, 3 servings of pasta instead of 1. So I think that's really awesome. This one is super convenient. I really like this product. It saves space with storing the pasta. It also keeps it airtight in here. It gives you the perfect serving size. I think this is the best way I found to store pasta and know how much you're using. I'm honestly giving this one a 10 out of 10. Next up is Polly the pitcher. It's supposed to be easier to use this pitcher than other pitchers because of the little beak on it that helps you pour a little bit better. So let's open it up and check it out. So I just pulled the product out of the box. This is what it looks like. It's got this long beak here, which apparently is what helps you do the actual pouring. To me, the pitcher itself looks a little bit small, so I'm actually gonna measure it compared to a regular size pitcher and also test out which one's easier to pour with. So this is Polly the pitcher compared to a regular pitcher right here. I'm gonna see how much water each holds. I've got 1 cup of water right here. Let's pour it into Polly first. And now I'm gonna measure exactly how many cups fill each pitcher right here, and then I'll get back to you guys. So I just filled this one up. You can see it's basically filled right to this pour spout in there. You do lose all of this space at the top because the spout is so low and big in there. This one holds 3 cups of water. Let's pour it into this one and first test out how easy it is to pour from a fully full pitcher here, and then test out how much more this regular pitcher holds. So let's pour this into this one. It's 3 cups so far. And I will say that pouring from full is really easy in this one. It's easy to guide exactly where that water is going. But that's how much it fills in this regular pitcher. I'm pretty sure this regular pitcher is gonna hold 6 or 8 cups, but let me check, I'll get right back to you. So I just filled this one up also. It holds 8 cups of water and this one only holds 3. So this one definitely wins on size, but that was pretty obvious. Let's see precision of pouring and see if this is actually worth the spout on this to make it a little bit easier. So it's filled all the way up to right there. You can see I even spilled a little bit as I'm trying to show you how full it is. So it's about as full as it gets. Let's keep this on the table right there and keep this in the air and see if I can pour it right into that mason jar. And you can see it's very, very easy to actually control where that water is going. I'm having no problems at all, no dripping, easy to pour from this. And now from the fully full regular pitcher here, let's see if I can do this one from the same height on the table right there. Obviously, you can see the water is about to come out already and I'm probably going to miss. And I was wrong, I underestimated myself. I definitely did not miss. I did get a little bit of dripping on the table right there. And I think for kids, this would be something that's really easy because they're probably gonna have struggles pouring this perfectly. I did get a little bit lucky, I would say, pouring this without any spills. This one's a little bit easier to pour, but I do like the size of this one. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 because I think for people who can't accurately pour as easily, kids or maybe older people, for me, I don't find it super useful. Our next product is gonna be an apple slicer and corer. It's supposed to do both. Let's check it out and see how it works. We've got the product here and an apple. Apparently it does the slicing and coring at the same time. There's no instructions, so I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. It looks like you'd basically just take this piece right here, kind of shove it into the top there where the stem is, and then maybe just twist in circles. So I'm gonna try that out. Let's get this on here. So I'll put this right through the stem there and push down. Okay, yeah, that pushes down in there pretty easily. It takes almost no effort, and I think I just twist this now, so let's just keep pushing down and twisting at the same time, maybe. Definitely takes a while. I mean, this is a lot of turns, but hopefully it gives me nice slices and gets rid of that core. I'm not sure if there's like a better way to do it with this hole right here. Maybe like put my finger in it and run it. No, I can't really get enough grip like that. It definitely takes near the bottom of this apple a bit more effort to actually use it. Okay, it did fall apart at the end right there, but actually I'm able to pull off that core super easily. And then let's get this pulled out and see what it looks like now. Actually, it looks like I can't. I gotta keep going. It's kind of stuck in there, so I'm gonna finish spinning this around. Okay, that seems like a good spot to finish. I can definitely push the core through on the bottom right there. So in terms of coring this, 100% perfect, got the core perfectly out. In terms of the slices of the apples, it was really good at the beginning. You can see this is a beautiful slice right here for like a charcuterie board or something like that. The rest of it did kind of fall apart a little bit, although I would say it's sliced up pretty well. The juice did get everywhere though. Definitely would want this on a cutting board or something. I wish the whole apple looked like the beginning did right here because this is beautiful slices. core was perfect. Definitely safer to use than a knife and maybe a little bit easier than a knife. It's a little bit difficult though. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. The next product here is a grater that's supposed to hold the cheese or the carrots or whatever you grate inside of it so it doesn't get all over the place and it's there ready for you to use. So let's open it up and try it out. So this is the grater right here. It's in the shape of a bear and on the back of it is the actual grater itself. And then this just pulls open so that you can see the inside of it and grab everything that you've grated out of it right there. And then it clicks back onto the top. You do kind of have to line it up. And then I've got a carrot right here. Let's try grating this carrot into there, see how it works. All right, I've got the carrot flattened on the end to make it a little bit easier for grating. I'm just gonna hold it and grate this back and forth a few times. All right, so in terms of grating it here, a little bit's getting stuck on the top, which is leaving a little bit on the counter, but I think a lot of it's going inside. It's pretty easy to use. It's grating nice and easily and well. Let's open it up and see how much we actually got inside compared to the very little we actually spilled on the counter right here. And yeah, there you go. About 90% of it actually went on the inside there versus normally when you grate things, it makes a mess all over the place. And I'm guessing once I practice a little bit more, I can probably get most of it in there, if not all of it as well. So I really like this one. It's super convenient. If you want, you can also store it for later. So let's say you grate up a bunch of cheese and you don't want to use all of it, you can just throw this lid back on it. It isn't airtight, so you probably don't want to leave it too long, but you'll just throw the lid back on it, throw it in your fridge, and you can use it later that day, the next day, something like that. So overall, this is probably one of the best graters I've tried. Easiest to use, makes the least amount of mess, and easy to use afterwards as well. I'm actually gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 also. The next product is gonna be a kitchen sponge holder. This one basically just looks like a bed. I don't think it does anything super cool, but let's check it out, let's open it up. So this is the product right here. Like I said, it just looks like a bed. I do like that it comes with a sponge, so you don't already have to have one. So if you need a new sponge for your home, it gives you that as well. It actually creates those little lines on the bottom of the sponge, like a bed would on like a mattress or something like that. And then this is the mattress with the pillows right there. So the sponge just goes in, slides right under it, sticks onto there, and then you just put this onto your counter just like that, and your sponge is ready to use. It is pretty easy to take this out of there. It does slide out nice and easily, but there is like a little bit of a grip. So like if you hold it upside down, it's not gonna fall out on its own, just like that. So it won't slide off, but very minimal effort to actually pull it off. So once you're done wiping things up using your sponge, put it onto there, really good to go. This one, I'm gonna say it's not super critical. It is super cute for the counter, and if you're just laying your sponge like on the counter right now or nowhere in particular, I think it's a cool product. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. The next product is gonna be a spaghetti tester and a steam releaser in one. So basically you'll put one noodle in it, see if your pasta is ready by using that one noodle, as you'll see, and it also lets out a little bit of steam from the pot. So let's open it up and check it out. All right, so this is the little guy right there. He basically looks like he's fishing, but inside of his fishing rod right here, there are two little holes where you'll put pasta through that. One of the pasta noodles will basically be in there and then half in the water, half not, so that it'll be easy to pull out the pasta noodle and see if that bottom half is ready to go, which would indicate that your pasta is fully ready. And then he's also got this little gap on the bottom of him, which you'll put onto the side of the pot so that the lid is cracked slightly open with him in there. So let's get this onto the pot and check it out and see how well it works. All right, we got a pot here with boiling water. Let's get one serving of pasta from our pasta container from earlier and get it in the pot. And I think I'm gonna save one of these noodles or a couple of these noodles to put through the actual guy there as well. So put those on the side for just a second while I throw the rest of the pasta in there. All right, and then I'm gonna take the other pasta noodles and put them through the little holes on this guy, which I believe is what they're supposed to do. It actually does hold it pretty tight in there. You can see it's like not falling out on its own. So now a little bit of those noodles are in the water. So those are gonna be cooking just like the pasta, and then I'll be able to pull them out here and test them super easily. If I try to put the lid anywhere else, it's just gonna either hit the spaghetti or just be in the way. So I guess you just leave the lid off. I guess it's not really a steam releaser, it's just for holding that spaghetti and testing it. All right, this pasta has been boiling for maybe 5 to 10 minutes now, so I'm gonna check on it. So normally you'd have to somehow get one of the noodles in the water with like a spoon or a ladle or something like that, grab it and then test that noodle. This one I'm gonna grab right here. It's still cold at the top. Obviously the steam is hitting my hand, which is a little warm, but it's easy to just grab that noodle and kind of check on it, or even just grab the whole guy, honestly. So I can just grab him and check on the noodles, and now I can check the bottom of the noodle and see that it is pretty cooked to al dente right there. Obviously the top you can see it's uncooked, the bottom is cooked to al dente, which means that the pasta in the pot here is also cooked to al dente and ready to go. So we can get rid of these pasta noodles or throw them in and trick someone with a hard noodle there. Take him off and we're ready to eat the pasta. So overall, I do find him useful. It's easier than trying to pull out one of those noodles and see if they're ready and burning your hand on it. It's not the most crucial thing in the world, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna move on to the Space Master right here, which is a potato masher. It's supposed to make mashing potatoes super easy, so let's try this one out as well. We've already got potatoes boiling over there too, so once those are ready, we're gonna actually pull out the potato masher and try it on those. So here's the potato masher pulled out of its box. You can see it looks like a rocket ship right here, and on the bottom, it looks like it's gonna mash those potatoes super well. It's got a bunch of these little, I guess, arms on the bottom, which will do that mashing nice and well. So once the potatoes are ready, we're gonna show you this one too. So I'm struggling with the masher a little bit. I wanted to test with a fork, but I can definitely put a fork right through that. So I don't know, let me try turning the potato over and mashing from the other side and see if that helps a little bit. Let's try again with the masher. It definitely starts to mash, and you can kind of see that this like moves up and down to give you a little bit of extra force and pressure into it, but I'm pushing really hard and I can't get this masher through the potato. Even hitting it at full power, it's not going through, but maybe on the ends of it, I can start getting it going. I mean, I'm definitely getting little pieces off. There we go. I think I'm breaking it apart now. It just took a second. It took a little bit of effort to get the initial pieces off. Okay, but now that we have it all kind of broken up like that, let's see if I can mash it pretty easily. And honestly, I would say yes. I mean, it was hard at the beginning right there for a second to get the initial potatoes started, but once I broke it into pieces here, this masher works really well, and you can see with all of the arms, it's kind of hitting a bunch of potato at the same time, so you're really getting a lot of surface area covered at once, and it's doing a really good job of mashing that. I mean, you can see now, I'm just trying to pick it up here. You can see it is super mashed in there, like perfectly mashed potatoes. So maybe if I would have put like a little butter in there or sour cream or something like that as I was mashing it up, it would have made it a little bit looser, a little bit easier to get going. Took a second to get started, but overall works really, really well as a potato masher. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Let's take a look at the egg poacher right here. Get this one out of the box and see if it makes poaching eggs easier. So this is the little egg poacher right here. It's a shape of a gondola, which I find pretty cute. There's a couple instructions for actually using this one. So basically we'll start off with just a layer of oil. So I'm gonna drip just a couple drips inside of there and kind of spread it around with the brush so that inside of there, we get a nice layer of oil. It's probably to keep the egg from sticking, I would imagine. Next up, we're gonna crack an egg into it. If there's one thing you should know about me is I love cooking. I make a lot of eggs, but I can't crack eggs for the life of me. So let's hope this goes well. Let's get the cracked into there. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of that one. I usually do a pretty poor job of cracking eggs, but that is in there pretty well. And now we have a pot of boiling water already over there, so let's go get this put into it. All right, so it says to put it at a gentle boil, which I think we've got here, and then to just place this little guy in there. Okay, perfect. It's definitely floating. It's very, very close to letting water in, but definitely floating in there. And then it says to put the lid on this too and leave it for 5 to 7 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. So I checked on this after about 30 seconds and it's already foaming up all the way inside of here. It's completely covered the egg already. I guess I had to turn the heat way, way down on this, which it definitely did not tell me, although I maybe should have known that. Let's get a new egg in there and we'll try again. All right, egg round 2 is going in at a gentler boil, and I'm gonna be careful with the lid this time also. And I'm gonna try and like leave a little gap in the lid this time so that it doesn't steam up as easily. Okay, so here's the result right here. It's definitely pretty watery in there. I mean, maybe if you used a bigger pot or you're a little more careful, you could avoid getting in the water, but I tried pretty hard and it's definitely liquidy. But let's check on the egg. I think the egg is cooked pretty well. I would say it was definitely a poached egg. It's just the water that's a problem for me. I wish it floated a little bit better, but again, maybe that's just me doing something slightly wrong. Maybe you need a bigger pot, something like that to make it work a little better. I'm gonna go off the fact that it was an user error here and give this one a 9 out of 10 because it does make poaching eggs a little bit easier. If it's not just a user error and that happens every time, obviously it'd be like a 0 out of 10. So